Yes, I'm here in Westminster to speak to Brian Hoare, who is the Uber campaigner who's been outside Westminster now for over 2,000 days, sleeping out here on the green in the cold.
America's leader Bush behaves like Hitler. Genocide, torture, slaughter.
Do you mind if I sit down? Is that all right? Do you mind? Thank you very much. Cheers.
What am I doing? I'm saying stop killing children, stop genocide, stop torture.
Yeah.
Is it a crime to say stop doing those things?
Well, I don't think so, no. But the fact is, it's not a crime, is it? Because they've tried to turn what you're doing into a crime, and you've defied them at every turn. That's what is impressive to everyone around the country. You confound them every time they try to find a new way of saying you're breaking the law. They're confounded, and that's what impresses everyone. Like, how do you live? Where do you sleep? In these tents? In one of these tents, do you?
You see this here?
Yeah.
What do you think of that for a home? Show that.
I don't think much of it, to be frank. I'm sorry. All due respect, I think that is a rubbish home.
Son, shut up.
And what's with all the calling me son business? Anyone who's younger than you?
Be your dad, couldn't I?
Well, yeah, that would be nice. That would be an interesting dynamic.
Oh, it'd be wonderful.
But you're not.
As the evening drew on, Brian challenged me to a competition in his favourite sport.
Come on, stop delaying.
Oh, no.
And bottle it.
Good evening, Vietnam! Genocide is a war crime! Stop killing the children! And now, my son, Sam, is going to address you. And we're going to see who is the biggest gob on the block. What is the decibel limit, officer, for crying out against genocide?
He's not giving me a go.
My son Sam is getting impatient. Sorry, son. Carry on.
I'll get it straight back to you.
Press the button in.
Right up to my
You
mouth.
better do your best, boy. You better bellow. You better...
Leave my dad alone! Brian Hoare's a hero! I've got the biggest gob in England! Make peace, not war! With Brian Hoare!
Of course, if you're not Brian Hoare, protesting near Parliament without police permission is illegal. The very next day, there was a protest going on in Parliament Square about the Iraq War. The protesters didn't have permission, and so it didn't take the police long to get stuck in. Mind you, some of the officers seemed a little confused about the finer points of the law.
Right, if I can take your name and address, please.
Well, under what legislation does she have to give you her name and address?
Right,
We're a little bit confused here.
under ID card plan, which is it's under, there's a new act. You know, ID card plan, you know, under Serious Organised Crime and Police Act. What happened is...
Which section does she have to give you her name and address?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well,
Apart
go
from the
away
fact...
and find out. Go away and find out.
Okay, but unfortunately I do know my powers of arrest. And if it's going to assist the investigation or she's going to disappear... Okay, right, okay, regardless.
No, the legal basis on which you are asking
Regardless, can I tell you
for a name and
please?
address. Give her the legal basis for which you're doing that. Why does she have to give you a name and address?
Defend the right to protest! Free speech now!
This officer's going to report you for summons.
Section 132 of the Serious Organised Crime and Police Act 2005.
I don't understand that. You don't do
She's not a serious organised criminal, is she? Does she look like a serious organised criminal to you? She looks like a lovely lady to me.
Thanks for that.
Well, no, we'd like an answer, really.
Okay, what I'll do...
Right, you've been reported committing an offence under this section 132 of the Serious and Organised Crime and Police Act 2005.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks,
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Can you stop steamrolling, officer?
If you
You're
give me
getting
your name and address, then we can... No, you're under arrest.
Officer, you're getting steamrolled.
Where was the police?
Over the people who died in police custody. Step over the people who died in police custody.
Jan here was arrested simply for holding a peace banner without permission. I wanted to find a way of protesting against this crazy state of affairs without suffering the same fate as Jan. I had to think radically. So I've come here, to Albania. During the Cold War, the Albanian commies were so hardcore that they thought that Soviet Russia and Mao's China were a bunch of pussies. But now, unlike us, the Albanians are allowed to protest outside their parliament without asking for police permission. So I thought this liberal climate would be the perfect place to organise a protest against the situation in the UK. I've booked a meeting with the Mayor of Tirana, Edi Rama, to see what he thinks of my idea.
We can sit through here, can we? Yeah. Is that okay? Is this his office? Yes. He doesn't mind if we go and sit in there when he's not there? Do you think I can sit at his desk while he's not here? I'll sit behind his desk. On this chair?
This chair?
Yeah. Okay. But not in his chair. Feels wrong, doesn't it? It's like being in the Oval Office of Albania. Albanians answer to the Oval Office when the president's not here and we're just waltzing around. Feels like it's wrong, we shouldn't be here. Hello, I'm Sam. Sam Delaney. Of course.
Eddie had some photos of himself to show me what used to happen to protesters here.
That's big trouble.
During the old regime, protest was something out of any possible imagination.
Protesting in Albania suddenly seemed less appealing.
No, now it's different.
So it's a much better world now for someone who disagrees with the government.
Yeah, sure.
It's interesting because it's actually easier to protest here in Albania and Tirana and in political areas than it is in the UK. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, but you know, freedom can lose its own content if it's not used. Can lose its own way of being if it's not used. Freedom needs to be used, and protest is a way to use freedom.
Obviously, we agree that we are a relatively free country, but yeah, I think the point you're saying is that just because you are free, it doesn't mean you should start ignoring those freedoms and not using them.
I fully agree with you that freedom of speech is something we should always use. Freedom of every kind of freedom.
Yeah. We were thinking of maybe doing a very small protest about the situation in the UK here.
Yeah, you can do it, and nobody will understand, but you can do it.
With Eddie on board, I headed over to a cafe near Parliament where I had a group of potential protesters on standby.
So thank you very much all for coming. It's very kind of you on such a horrible day. So we've come here to find out about the freedoms that you have got, and we have learned that we think it is much easier and you've got more freedom to protest against the government here in Albania than we do in England, which we were surprised about. We're going to make some banners up and we want them to say, "Free protest for the UK." Okay, are you with me? Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Yeah, okay, let's go. They seem much more relaxed than the police outside of our parliament, which is good. Should we get a chant going? Free protest for the UK! Free protest for the UK! Free protest for the UK!
When all this started, I never imagined that in order to exercise my freedom of speech, I would have to leave Britain and fly all the way to what used to be one of the world's harshest dictatorships. If ever I needed proof we were living in a Big Brother state, that was it.
Artur, come and tell it to me, because I can't keep up with what it is.
No?
No?
Britannia.
Protesta Tirana ne Britannia. Protesta Tirana ne Britannia. Protesta Tirana ne Britannia. Protesta Tirana ne Britannia. Free protest in the UK. Thank you for fighting for our freedom. We'll do the same for you any time. Thank you. Thank you. Parliamentary. Okay, let's go. These are the nicest police in the world.